freaking Sunday.
That's cool. Turn up. We lit.
This dude.
Yeah.
No, we live. We're definitely live.
Right, the shit's going.
Like, is
He
it
said
actually
we
on?
were live.
Waiting on
Where
you.
were you
Oh my-
when he said it?
This guy.
Damn, that's strong.
You wait for him to tell you
Ladies and gentlemen,
he
boys,
loved me. He said
shut
it
up.
already.
Shut up. Everybody shut up. Let me do the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and they take the color rainbow between. It's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
It's your guy who's actually on time, Mr. Petty.
And y'all already know.
Everyone, shut your mouths.
Damn it, Rick.
What up?
Fuck, you know what? Thank you everybody for tuning in once again for our wonderful show here at Blurs and Whiskey. We've got a great one lined up for you. So we've got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to try to keep things in order, try to keep things rolling. But to start things off, why I can't talk, our drink of the week, 1792. I got the small batch. It is, the horsepower on this one is 93 proof. Like, oh yeah. That was...
I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, I pre-gamed and I underestimated it. So yeah.
Well, hey, let's go around the horn, see what everybody made with your drink. Herb, you go first.
You know me, on the rocks.
I'm gonna need you to do better.
I get like a man.
Listen.
I get like a man.
Listen, those that can do.
Every
Rita.
week it's on the rocks.
Right.
Rita, what did you make?
And tell us who you were inspired by.
That wasn't you. Definitely wasn't you. I made an orange bourbon julep. Thank you. That was definitely not inspired by Ken.
Slightly manipulated.
Mr. Maestro.
I made a beer cocktail. I just took some brandy and I mixed it with a Leinenkugel Summer Shandy because why the fuck not? I'm gonna die alone, so let's get it.
Wow. Okay.
As y'all don't know, this episode is already going to get dark. I just did a classic mint julep with the bourbon mixture. So pretty much it's mint, simple syrup, muddle it with the mint and the simple syrup, add liquor and then ice, drink, and you cool off.
All
I
right.
should have seen the picture that this guy made. It was amazing.
He gonna post them later.
Mm-hmm.
You should follow me on Twitter and you can find out what the picture looks like.
What's that Twitter handle?
The Twitter handle is Mr. Petty BMW at Twitter.
All right. So besides the shot I just took earlier, I have been drinking on a triple sour. I took the brandy, the sour mix, some lime juice, and some more sour mix. So yeah, I just want to try and make it as sour as possible. So I'm gonna drink this whole thing.
Do better.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Hey,
I'm so disappointed.
I'm not.
It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
Hey, that drink is a shout out to OCG because that is a very bitter drink.
Yes.
It's going to be one of those shows, I can already tell. But it also has some maraschino cherries that have been soaking in rye for a couple of weeks in the bottom of it. So it's actually pretty good. I actually tried. I didn't just do it on the rocks this time.
I also want to point out that this is all Trey's fault. Just so that we are clear, he suggested that we drink this shit. It is all his fault if this show goes left in the next 30 minutes. So yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about the next 30 minutes. I'm still drunk from last night. So game time.
So what happened last night? What happened last night, Mr.
Yes,
Maestro?
tell us what happened last night.
Let me lead into things, but good God. So, damn. We have a birthday announcement. Of course, it was Maestro's birthday this past week. So last night we celebrated it. Do you want people to know how old you turned, or?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm 37. I'm not a white woman. I don't care.
Just making sure. So everybody pour out a shot for a big homie. It's his birthday.
Take a sip because
take a sip of the drink you already got.
I'm gonna take a shot of something from last night. This is a big ass bottle of effing.
We learned a lesson from that. Oh, can we do
Oh,
the
God.
toast before you take the shot?
No.
Y'all don't understand. This is a birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you're-
so can I just point out
legally-
that I'm still salty about the fact that all I got was a happy birthday, and then we ain't do no happy birthday moment for me. So I'm still in my feelings. Trey,
I'm living my best life. I ain't on back and forth with you niggas.
I just want to move along with the show. Can we do that after the show? I got you. Because we wasn't doing all this back on January 1st. But
and I still want my birthday present.
I got how she make your birthday about her? Anyway, all right. So for many of you who don't know, Rick is my actual blood cousin. Love you, Cuzzo. I wish you many more, and I'm glad you're along with us on this journey.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I probably got like 2 or 3 more of these left in me.
Oh my God. Drinks up for the Cuzzo. Happy birthday, man.
No, I'm not drinking till I got 2 or 3 more left. Like, what? No.
It doesn't count if the person who's giving the toast doesn't give it.
Hey, look, you either drink to celebrate or you're going to drink to commemorate. One of the two.
One of the two.
God damn it.
All right.
Big Herb.
Darkest sketch.
What you got for us, Big Herb?
I can't, man. Oh, man. Oh, church announcements this week. Netflix movies and shows to watch. Have you guys seen or heard about Old Guard, Warrior Nun, and Project Power?
Yes, I actually love Old Guard though. Old Guard is really good.
Old Guard was amazing.
I haven't completed it yet, but it seemed legit. Warrior Nun, I definitely binged in 2 days.
Okay. I like to give a quick shout out to Old Guard though. Even though the screenplay was originally created by Greg Rucka, who is also a person of color. I would like to give a shout out to the director of it, who is Gina Prince Blythewood, who is a woman of color, a Black woman of color, who directed that movie. And as I watched that movie is full of nothing but awesomeness. So I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that until afterwards. So double shout out to that.
Yeah. So basically, long story short, Old Guard is immortal mercenaries. They have abilities to heal themselves. They discover that somebody discovers their secret, and they're trying to get their freedom. Warrior Nun is based on Ben Dunn's comic series. If you guys didn't know already, Warrior Nun focuses on a young orphan named Ava Silva, who wakes up in a morgue and finds out that she has powers, and she's the chosen one. She's the Halo barrier with a secret set of demon hunter nuns.
Wait, he got the Silver Soldier arm?
Halo bearer.
She hates anything with the word Halo. She thinks of Beyonce.
You said Halo. You said Halo barrier.
That's for Cyberpunk. That's
okay. Halo bearer. Okay. Anyway, Project Power
mix like all 3 movies.
Project Power comes out in August the 14th. Long story short, you get these guys as Jamie Foxx. What's the other cat's name?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I don't know his fucking name, man. Damn.
Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah, I know who he is. I can't
Cobra Commander. He played Cobra Commander. Never forget.
You take a pill. You have.
Wait. Did he play Rufio in Hook?
No.
Wait
No.
He looked like
that was an Asian dude. What are you talking about?
He looked like Rufio. Sorry.
He doesn't. He doesn't. Anyway, moving right along. Did y'all hear about Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion?
Like we don't have Twitter.
Listen. Hold on. Let's summarize that in one thing. Oh, so you gonna shoot me in my pinky toe? You be the one time you be the one toe having this bitch in Harlem. Pow. Move on.
That shit. So Tory Lanez is accused of shooting Meg Thee Stallion. Yeah, I'm going by the report. We all know what the fuck it is, but I'm going by the report. He's accused of shooting her in the foot twice. She's recovering right now, and I feel like Rita got something up her sleeve to talk about this shit.
I mean, he's fupa height, so I can understand why she, was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and give him a chance. Because outside of that, I don't
He's
know.
Poopa height.
He's Poopa height. And you know
Add
what
that
I
to the
mean
list
by
of
that.
merchandise we need for
You know what
Fupas, okay?
You know what I mean by that.
Shout out to my brother because he said I'm buying one just because.
Because it's not like he can pick her up and put her on her shoulders. So, you know, he's Poopa height. So it's like, you know what? You don't need to pick me up.
Again, she already said
if you right where you need to be.
She already said that she's gonna have motherfuckers just eating her out while she's watching anime.
That's what she said. That's what she said. So she's like, you know what? Go ahead. What?
Crunchyroll and commitment.
The reason why he shot her in the foot is because he's so short. That's his only thing that's like height level width. So he's just like
he's trying to bring her down the side. It's bad enough that he had a booster seat on a truck that he was driving. So,
the fact that he freestyled on a sway show and he got up and he was standing up to the same height.
Yeah, because they gave that nigga a booster seat. He takes his booster seat with him wherever he goes.
Well,
I mean, when he stands up, when he sits down and stands up, he's the same height as we see in the gift. So
yeah, that nigga feet be swinging in chairs.
Shout out to Mr. Petty for making that Harlem Nights meme. That shit was funny. That was funny.
I didn't make it. I just said we need to put it up there.
No. I actually didn't.
You gonna shoot me in the pinky toe? What the hell is that?
Shoot me. I'm having this bitch in Houston. I'm done with you.
Hey man, he has little man syndrome. He's upset that he can't never ride none of the roller coasters safely. So I can understand why he's upset with life.
Here's the real question. Is she going to put him on the next remix to Savage?
She could just throw him over her shoulder and keep it moving. I mean, like...
No, hold on, Trey. Better hook. Classy, bougie, popped your ass.
Now, wait.
What's
now,
hopping?
let's not make a joke about the fact that she still got shot. Like, she got shot. She had to have surgery. Like, it still happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was still a victim in all of this. So let's not lose sight of that. But at the same time, it's funny. But it's not funny if you're looking at it from her point of view. Like, she's like, I was victimized and everybody's making a joke of it. So
let's not lessen the importance of it. Let's not put a little spin on it.
I say, fine, Rita. Fine, Rita. We'll be the bigger man.
I hate y'all so much. I really do.
Wow.
Megan, if you're watching this, you probably not, but I'm wishing you a speedy recovery.
All joking aside, we wish the best for it, but this is the Black community. Once we find out that you're okay, we're gonna cut jokes.
All right. Yeah. Let's be 100.
And I hope that next time I see her, she got some new shoes, like she said.
Put your best foot forward, Megan, and let's go ahead and move on to the next.
Well, hopping along to the next part of the church announcement.
I hate y'all so.
I had to get one in.
All right,
puns. We've got them.
Oh snap! Somebody said Tory Lanez is the size of the devil on your left shoulder.
Wow,
this is accurate. You're absolutely right.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All right, moving on.
Far Cry 6. Have you guys seen the trailer for that shit? Because
yes.
I ain't even gonna lie. Trey sent this joint in the messenger, and I thought this shit was a movie clip. I'm not even gonna lie. The shit looks amazing.
Rick, what's the name of the guy who's the main villain?
I cannot
pronounce it. I know you can't.
Giancarlo.
You done? You done?
I said Rick.
You done?
I said Rick.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Herb, why?
I got it.
So yeah, if you haven't played the game before, it's a first-person shooter game. It's due to come out February 18th of next year. So I will be getting my copy soon.
Have you played any of the previous ones?
I haven't, but based off of that trailer, I will be getting it.
Okay,
I'm not really a first-person shooter gamer, so that's why.
Okay.
But also Cyberpunk 2077 finally released the date 11/19/20 of this year. The RPG game we've been waiting for how long?
Damn near a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's made by the same company that made The Witcher 3. So the hype has been going on for about, I would say, The Witcher 3 came out like 5 years ago,
And it's
something
still
like
amazing.
that. Yeah, and so they've been waiting for the next CD Projekt Red game, and this is going to be it. My personal take on it is the hype is getting to be a little bit too much, and it's not going to be able to live up to the hype. Even though it has Keanu Reeves with, as Rita said, the Winter Soldier arm in it, it's still going to be, I still feel like it's going to be a little bit too much hype. Because, I mean, perfect prime example, look at The Last of Us 2. Everybody was hyped up and waiting for The Last of Us 2, and now people can't stop shit talking it. So we'll see.
That's because that's because people are fickle. Like, they hyped it up, and then it's a game. I'm pretty sure what as it's hyped up, it'd probably be just as good, if not better than the game that's expected to be. But because people hyped it up for so long, and now they're playing, they're like, oh, well, we don't like this, and they just nitpick everything they want about it. So people are just fickle. So, So we got OCG coming in to say some few words. Go ahead.
All right. So as far as Cyberpunk 2077, everybody who's gotten their hands on it, at least the demo versions of it that they could get so far, they said it's overwhelming with content in a good way. Everybody, everybody when they get these advanced copies, all they want to do is poke holes in it. Nobody can find a way to poke holes in it.
Well, I mean, if you have to take your time to make sure that it's perfect, then I mean, I guess it's well worth the wait.
That's why they keep pushing it back.
Did they give any early copies to any Black content creators? Probably not.
I don't know exactly who they sent it all to. I just know who I watch on YouTube.
Okay, so the person we watch on YouTube, are they a person of color?
Personally?
No.
We
mean personally, are they a person of color?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Like, do they,
No, I don't
like, what
think
do you
so.
mean? Do they consider themselves black? Is that what you're trying to ask? Like,
They're trans black.
I watched their review.
I am transracial.
I am Steve Rogers.
I'm Spartacus.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're ready.
Well, yeah. All right, so let's also.
Let's keep going.
So no, I was saying the people that I watched,
also,
the ones that I watched are reviews of everybody else's points they were making. I watched kind of an overarching synopsis.
So what you're saying is, when it comes to reviews, you don't see color.
Does anybody else hear singing in their headphones?
Yes,
I do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And it's not over here.
Oh man. Is he hearing blue OCG?
It ain't over here. It ain't over here. My little brother was knocking on the door, but he ain't singing right now.
Okay.
He's in the comments.
And last but not least, we gotta go and queue up the Black Moments of Excellence.
Yes.
Basically, flying through the glass ceiling. Lieutenant J.G. Madeline Swegel is the first Black female Navy fighter pilot. She's stationed in Texas. She's a native of VA. She graduated from the Naval Academy in 2017, and she will get her gold wings this month. So shout out to her for making breaking barriers. So
shout out.
Oh yeah.
And that concludes the church announcements.
She's a real life Maria Rambo.
Yeah, basically.
She is.
Do you know who that is, sir?
Fuck you. I know who Maria Rambo.
Who is it?
Who is it?
What's her name? She's Rambo's daughter. Fuck you, man.
No.
One thing that I wanted to do.
Talking about motherfucker Captain Marvel, you asshole.
We're gonna send you on a Captain Marvel
before
trip.
we completely wrapped up the church announcements was give a shout out to my cousin who makes candles. Her I sent it to you. Please cue up the pictures. Queen Sense. She makes candles. She's awesome. You can follow her on IG. The moment that he puts it up, you can see it.
Yeah.
It's this candle that I'm oh shit. You can't see it. But the candle that I'm burning right now is called Butt Naked. And it's giving me Erykah Badu vibes.
So it smells like butt?
Down. It's called Butt Naked.
Badusi.
So is it made from butt?
Amazing. You say what again?
Does it smell like
Badusi?
No, it smells like you had a really good shower, and then you had a good smelling lube that went with it. That's what it smells like.
Okay. All right.
Damn,
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Hey. As someone who's like very romantic, I'm definitely gonna cop those. So yes,
You should. It smells amazing. It
Did you
does.
say a good smelling lube to go with it?
Hey, judge your mother. Judge your mother. Let me live my life.
I'm not judging. I just wanted to make sure that I heard what you said. Listen, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck off. Let's move on.
You sure to look.
Happy birthday, Rick.
Out on Twitch every week.
Yeah, happy birthday, Rick.
2 or 3 more. 2 or 3 more.
Oh boy.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, we just okay. All right. So yeah, speaking of strong smells for strength in general, I'm gonna try this again this week. And I'm gonna leave the other one to the rest of y'all. But speaking of strength and strong stuff in general, we are going to give our spotlight to our actual sponsor, FNX FNX. They are a premier. Excuse me.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I think all the sourness is starting to get to me.
Oh.
Wait a minute. All the stourness? You said stourness. What is sour? Sour.
Sour.
Put
it on the board. I don't care.
OCG, put it on the board.
Sourness.
FNX Fit is where you need to go to get all your supplemental needs. Whether you're trying to get bulky, you're trying to slim down, you're trying to get your knees right for your Megan Thee Stallion actions out there, go to FNXFit.com or go to BlurredWhiskey.com.
I don't know if I want to ride it like a horsey no more, if that means I'm going to get shot in the foot. So...
Using the promo code FNXBlurred13, you can get your 15% off of FNX Fit products. Good God.
Just saying,
Let's go,
you gotta
let's
make
go,
better
let's
life
go.
choices. And that's not a life choice that I'm willing to make.
Let's get into the throwback show of the week.
Throwback show of the week. I just feel with a lot of shit that's been going on, I'm pretty sure that you guys can agree with me on this. We want to get the fuck out of here. So why not go back to Homeboys in Outer Space?
Space.
Homeboys in Outer Space is an American sci-fi fantasy comedy sitcom that aired on UPN. It came on in August 27th of 96 to May 13th of 97. 21 episodes. I don't know much about this fucking thing. I only seen like 1 or 2 episodes. Lex Alexander's in it.
Hey, hey, Rick, is it me or you that want to take over this part?
No, I got it, man. Move, get out of here.
Go ahead. I'm dishing the ball off you, man.
Leave it alone, Wikipedia. So Homeboys in Outer Space, it starred Flex Alexander and Ron from Different World. And it was on the UPN. It's about exactly what you think it is. Niggas in space and all types of shenanigans. And not to mention, it had the greatest theme song of all time. You like to hear it? Here it goes. Homeboys in Outer Space, mercenary brothers. I ain't going no more.
Oh God!
I would like to point out about the fact that UPN and WB at the time were both fledgling networks that followed the same formula as other fledgling networks, which is let's throw a bunch of black shows on to get the loyal and black fan base, and then they'll all of a sudden, after give no final episodes or whatever, they'll just cancel all these shows.
The Wayans brothers never even got a final episode. It was
right. So when I saw UPN was doing Homeboys along with Malcolm and Eddie and some other show. Who was that one with the multiple parent family one?
The Parenthood?
No. Parenthood was WB. It had I don't know. Anyway, it was produced by Will Smith. That's all I remember because it was based in book.
All of us.
Okay. Yeah, that was also on UPN, and that's when I realized UPN was instead of Universal Paramount Network is apparently stood for you pick a nigga. But yeah.
Hey, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy that you mentioned Will Smith because he produces a lot of stuff that ain't loyal to him.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Oh. You got something to say? You got something to say about that one?
What happened?
Hey, Trey.
I don't know
If
how.
you ever wanted to take the moment to take the reins and move on, this is your moment.
Because this is
I'm still at a loss, but
I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying.
It is a struggle.
Right.
Jada got their
Way
daughter
to
right.
put the knife in and twist the bitch.
I'm still hurting from that one. That just hurt.
Jada got their daughter writing letters to Tupac. She ain't never met that nigga before.
Okay, so
I wonder if Heaven got a mailbox.
That's a very controversial topic.
So
we
are we
did not
putting
have
1792 on the list of drinks we're never drinking again?
No, because I'm not drunk.
We put it on.
We are only halfway through this already.
I said
Oh God, he's drinking effing water.
Did y'all hear the new song?
26 minutes. But
no,
August got a new song called Entanglement.
We'll have time. We got it.
Okay, so very divisive topic right there, but we're going to move on to our first topic of the week, which is, of course, the man himself, Nick Cannon. Recently this week, he made I think it was about a couple weeks ago, he made a couple statements that some deem as anti-Semitic. He apologized for the statements. He basically likened people who are less melanated to be closer to animals or savages. And for those reasons, he was removed from Viacom and MTV, all those stations. He's still on The Masked Singer on Fox. They're one of the people that are standing behind him. And he still got his radio show. And I wanted to give just a general breakdown of what happened and see what you guys felt about this situation, because it's been very divisive. Me personally, I don't think that he was particularly wrong. Or I'm sorry, they were particularly wrong for removing him. I personally think that Nick Cannon used a poor choice of words in what he was saying. I think he was trying to explain something that he's not fully aware of or knowledgeable of, and he was not aware of the triggers that is causing in that particular group of people. I don't agree that it wasn't anti-Semitic, because if a group of people is entitled to their triggers. And when you call somebody's group a oligarchy and they're the rulers, they're the ruling class of banks and everything like that, whatever have you. If you go back to 1945 into Germany and World War I, Jewish people get triggered by that whole situation when you try to say that Jewish people are in control of everything. And that's what I've come to realize that what he said was wrong. He shouldn't have said that. And you can't expect somebody to react the way you want them to react to how you're triggering them, in my opinion. But let's go around the horn and see what everybody else says. Cam, you got your hand up. Let's go ahead and go with you first.
Well, first and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead and say that we as people of color or Black people can't really say something is anti-Semitic because we're not Semitite descent. So it's kind of like if a white person tells me that that's not racist. So how can I, who is not of Jewish descent, say something that's not anti-Semitic? That's kind of the point where I wanted to make. Do I feel like he had a poor choice of words? Yes. He might have had a point of going somewhere, and he may have got derailed. He might have been something that's just lost in a moment. His conversation would have been better off as a one-off conversation than supposed to something on air. But because of A, the subject matter of what he was talking about, and B, the person I believe he was talking to, which is Professor Griff, who also was removed from a very radical group of Public Enemy as a rap group for saying something very anti-Semitic in general. So he was already at crosshairs alone, and then saying something that was not worded well also made for a combination of things for him to be under fire for. Should have gotten fired? Probably not. Do I think that is wrong that he apologized? I do think it is wrong that he apologized, because like I said, there was some truth to what he said. He may have said it wrong, but there was some truth to what he said. But I do understand why he did it, because he's a public figure, and sometimes you have to swallow your pride in order to do something more productive. Because along with the show being canceled, several other people have lost their jobs. Everyone in the casting, the entire cast of Wild Now has lost their job. And not just the people who are on stage. You got like people behind the stage, producers, grips, makeup artists, clothing designers, and everything else that goes along with making a show. And that's got to be MTV's longest running show next to Real World, to be honest. And just in one night, like Thanos snap, it's gone.
Yep.
So
okay. Rita?
I'm going to stick to what I said earlier in the show and before we started the show. And my comment was this. When it comes to white privilege, Jewish people today, not in the past, I'm not trying to come up with I'm not trying to minimize anything that they've gone through. Today, that's not their reality. Okay? And white privilege, historically, has been reserved for white males. Because when you think about situations where there are white women, where there are crimes that are committed against white women, that white males have committed, they always find a way to make it the white female's fault. And I'm going to stick to that comment, period. My whole thing is that maybe Nick had a poor choice of words. Absolutely. Maybe you did offend a whole community of people, and especially if you try to minimize what they have gone through historically, because I'm not trying to do that. But what I am trying to say is even white privilege has white privilege within the white privilege, period.
Okay. There's layers to it.
Yep.
Yeah. You could change your last name and it still be the same. Go ahead. So, yeah.
Herb, go ahead, Adam.
No, I'm done. I'm gonna keep.
No, your opinions on the topic.
I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself. I'm just gonna have to pass on this one. Yeah.
All right.
Respectfully, I'm just gonna be quiet.
All right, birthday boy, what you got? What you thinking about?
Listen, here we go.
Whenever somebody come for us, we the ones that's got to apologize. But then when we come for everybody else, we the ones that still got to apologize. I've had enough of this shit. I really don't like. I know I said I wasn't going to do too much talking on the subject, but I'm going to do some talking on the subject. I really am so fucking sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of us having to grovel and having to beg for our spot. I'm sick and tired of us having to, just because we want to be treated as equal and we feel like you're not listening to us, so we have to make some noise and bang on some shit and flip some stuff over, and then we still have to apologize and get punished for it. This is bullshit. Fuck that. I don't give a fuck about their feelings. Nobody's giving a fuck about our feelings for fucking over 250 years. So why the fuck do we have to always tread like, why do we always have to be the ones that have to creep around and, oh, well, you know, this is the way that I feel. No, fuck all of that, man. Fuck that. He said what he said. Interpret it. Take it. Look at your own bullshit for once. Look at yourselves. Look at what's been done. Look at how we still suffer to this day. But no, we gotta apologize and I'm so sorry. Man, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Look at yourself. I'm tired of this shit, man. This is bullshit.
I agree with your sentiment. I think that
I gotta say something though, in lighter news, because it's also going on in comments too, because me and Baby G for Life have been commenting back and forth with it. So apparently now B Simone's going to look for a boyfriend who works 9 to 5 because she has no job now either. What CEO moves is she gonna pull now? That's what I want to know.
She remember she can't do 9 to 5, dude. So she can go and get one of them niggas on unemployment.
Good gracious. I mean, yeah, but I do agree with your sentiment. I as well am tired. I'm just trying to be a mediator of sorts in my small capacity because I have to keep that in mind. Yes, I think that we are still going through our own traumas. We're still relating to the things that our people have gone through to the past. But in my opinion, in order to heal we have to make sure that we keep ourselves in check. We have to be respectful of other groups. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think that what he said was right, but he was speaking truth to a lot of different things. I don't agree that all Jewish people are oligarchs. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that what?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I don't agree that that people without melanin are closer to animals. Now, people in the past have had savage things that they've done, especially to our people. I recognize that. Yes, they've done some savage shit to us. They've done some fucked up things to us. But that's not, and I know it's a token argument, but I can't say that's for everybody, because we have allies and we have enemies. It's on both sides of that. But OCG,
all right, we got some OCG comments. Go ahead.
Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, just on this level of it, seems like everybody gets to be entitled to original truth, except for us. We get told to get everything our ancestors went, even though we still have members of our family who are alive that remember seeing members of their family, their older generation, as slaves. So we're not that far removed from the situation. So we need that same level of sensitivity. Keep that same energy. Y'all are telling us to forget about our history and just to move forward. And nobody's been suppressed. As soon as we mention something about somebody else, you want to jump up and say, well, you guys weren't the only one. Guess what? That sucks for you too. And you know what? We can have your back. Have ours.
I do find it funny that math becomes a bad subject when it comes to slavery, because they'll be like, shit, that happened like 700 years ago. Yo, America's only like 488 years old. What are you talking about?
Segregation in the South was a long time ago. Actually, it was 60 years ago. Your grandmother's 60, so
like that happened to your ancestors. You mean my grandma?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The other part that is sickening, and I think is what Nick was trying to convey, is that what happened to the Jews and people who weren't blue-eyed happened, what, maybe 100 or so years ago or something like that.
1945.
But nobody's expecting them to get over it. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's telling them, oh, just get over it. It happened a long time ago. You see what I'm saying? And then we were in war. We were at war with these people. And they were trying to convince people of color, like, oh, we have fried chicken and we have watermelon and we have this and we have that. You should come and fight for us. You know what I'm saying? Like they were trying to entice people of color. The enemy that was doing this to Jewish people. And they're trying to entice them with things that they stereotyped people of color that they would want. And this is the point that I'm trying to make, is nobody is telling the white Jewish people to get over it. But Black people are expected to just forget that is our history and just move forward. And I think that is what Nick was trying. I'm not trying to take up for him, because if you offend a race of people, you offend a race of people. But what I'm saying is nobody's looking at it from that POV.
So I agree. I just think that the issue with Nick Cannon itself is about who it's. I'm not denying that we should still have the same amount of respect. All I'm saying is that we have to be respectful in turn. When a group of people is disrespected, the same thing that happens to people who we see on cameras every day calling somebody a nigger. They just saying that you stupid, whatever. And we put them up on Twitter and we put them up on Facebook. This is that person's name. This is where they work. We need to get them fired. The same thing happens. So we have to keep that same energy.
But does it?
A lot of times it does. I'm not saying the person can't go find another job.
Hey, real quick. Breonna Taylor's killers are still out there.
Very true.
On vacation.
That part.
Very true.
On vacation.
Very true.
Shopping at Costco.
And so should we just go ahead and go into that one?
Why the fuck not?
I think so.
Let's go.
Let's move on to that one. Rita, I'm going to let you head this one up. Come on with all that fire on you. Let's go. Take your time. Take your time.
Breathe.
For those of you who are not aware, Breonna Taylor was a young lady who was murdered in her home by, were they unarmed? I'm not unarmed. They were not in uniform.
He was murdered in her home because they issued a no-knock warrant.
There it goes.
They went to the wrong home.
The person that they were looking for.
And shot and killed Breonna, who was sleeping in her bed, and arrested Breonna's boyfriend because he thought there were intruders in his home, so he shot at them. And he was arrested for protecting himself and Breonna. Let's not forget that. Okay? I'm going to try not to curse.
No, let it all go.
The Kentucky Attorney General, fucking, what is it? Daniel Cameron Daniel Cameron.
Daniel J. Cameron.
Fuck the J. Daniel, bitch ass, decided that he was going to have a fucking engagement party, and I know this sounds racist as fuck, to the white bitch that he decided that he was going to marry. Okay? Wow, you have these 3 officers that you put on paid desk duty, okay, are still employed for the murder and unlawful imprisonment of Breonna's boyfriend, whose name is escaping me at this moment, but I know somebody in the comments got it. Okay? So they're still walking free, allowed to leave the state, go on vacations and everything else. And so 87 people assembled in a peaceful protest at his home where they sat the fuck down on his lawn, and you arrested all 87 of them and had the fucking audacity to charge them with felony trespassing, where they can face up to 5 years in jail, but you still are allowing these fucking murderers, because that's what they are, to collect the check and sit on desk duty. But you had the balls to arrest 87 people and charge them with felony trespassing because they sat the fuck down on your lawn because they wanted you to do something about the murder of this innocent woman who was also a government employee who saved lives because she was a paramedic. But her life don't matter. And those 3 officers who killed her, them bringing justice doesn't matter. But, because you had people sitting on your lawn and they fucked up your grass, I'm going to charge you with a felony charge? Are you serious?
It's still heartbreaking that we have to go through this.
That's the screenshot.
It's enraging.
Hell yeah, it's enraging.
Yeah,
it's because it's getting to a point where I even have to just watch what the fuck I say, because I might.
Why? I don't see why you have to watch what you got to say.
No, because I'm gonna say like fuck him, okay? Because I mean, for real, you think it's okay to give felony charges to people who peacefully protest, didn't harm anybody, just sat in your fucking yard. You're willing to give them 5 years, but you can't even fucking arrest. Not hell. I'll even go as far as this, you didn't even fucking fire them for being incompetent. Hell, I'm just saying the bare fucking minimum. You couldn't even do that. So fuck him. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
What was the reasoning for shooting somebody who was clearly laying down in the bed? Tell me where in any of your fucking handbooks and any classes that you ever took that it said, if a nigga is laying down clearly asleep, shoot her because she might be or he might be a threat. Are you serious?
So this is why the term defund the police has come about, right? And for those of you who don't know, defund the police does not mean abolish the police. We're not talking about completely dismantle and get rid of the police. We're talking about defund them, right? Because at this point, the police are working under these $150 billion budgets. Yes, I said $150 billion with a B, where they've become this militarized force, right? And they're very militant. And you have a lot of these hyped up dudes who were bullied in school, who are now police officers, who all they think is shoot first before I'm actually policing anything, before I'm actually being a public servant. They don't think of themselves as public servants. They have stolen the Punisher logo and moniker from nerds, from people of our culture, and they've bastardized it into this whole, they think they're the Terminator thing. So these motherfuckers
they're raised on action flicks like Die Hard and Lethal Weapon and Steven Seagal flicks, and thinking that that's how cops are supposed to be.
They think they're ghetto. And so there's a Keanu Reeves movie that came out a few years ago. We played a cop. They called him the ghetto gunfighter. Every cop now thinks they're a ghetto gunfighter. And they think they think their job is to shoot as many brown people as they can, like it's a fucking video game. And that's why the police need to be defunded. That's why they need more mental stability training than anybody. Because it's gotten to a point now where they all think they're fucking Frank Castle running around doling out justice, but in their mind, they don't even have an idea of what justice is.
Yeah, they think they're judge, jury, and executioner of the streets. Like, they think that they are actually the law. Like, they're paid to uphold the law, but the problem is they think they are the law.
I'm just looking at it as, hey Rick, you said you work in the school system, right?
Absolutely.
How long did it take you to get your degree?
Still working on it.
How long does it usually take a doctor to figure out to get that degree?
In order to be a doctor, it takes 8 years. Hold on. In order to be like just a resident doctor, it takes 8 years.
Just a
To go on, it takes longer.
Yeah.
Or how long does it take to become a police officer?
6 months.
Six fucking months.
Hey. So let me put it on another perspective. Mr. Proper, hypothetically, let's say you I'm not going to say a company, but let's say you deliver a package, not only to the wrong house, but you throw this said package through a window and it hits the resident and it kills said resident in that house.
I'm going to jail.
You're going to
shooting
jail.
me on sight.
But you're going to jail even if you didn't kill the person. You're going to jail for destruction of property.
Destruction of property. Yep. And I'm losing my job. And all that.
Like at my job, if I did something wrong that somehow endangered one of my customers, I would lose my job.
So at my job, right, I have some students who have they have certain allergic reactions to certain things, right? Let's say I have a student that's allergic to peanuts, and I mistakenly have a Snickers around that student, and that student gets sick. Guess what's going to happen to me? I have no job, and I'm going to fucking jail.
Yep. Oh, well, I think we're all from these conversations completely filled with rage. But speaking of which, speaking of rage, transition into our
something else, man.
I know, because I know what I'm doing. Anyway, we're transitioning into our character of the week. So, camera guy, if you will, roll that footage for us.
Character of the week. So, today's character of the week is Elvin Dale Halliday, also known as Yeah, about that. So he was born in Brooklyn, New York, around like 13 years old. He was involved with some neighborhood bullies, and while trying to evade them, he got somehow exposed to toxic waste chemicals. And throughout the weeks, his body basically matured to adulthood, along with giving him powers and ability of super speed, strength, enhanced ability, non-vulnerability, stamina, basically like a human, but superhuman human. But, like I said, think of like Luke Cage, but the mind of a 13-year-old.
like a black Shazam. So the first thing he does when he discovers that he's a kid with powers is he goes to the Avengers mansion and demands that he become an Avengers member. And then he actually gets in Captain America's face, basically scolded him, saying that he doesn't have enough people of color on his team. Therefore, he should join. All right, my dude. I want to say like 2 or 3 missions in, he showed some promise, and then he became like a probationary member of the Avengers. But then I guess later on it was discovered that he's really a 13-year-old kid. So therefore he's not a legal adult, so he can't join the Avengers. So what they end up doing is they put him on another team that is devoted of teenage superheroes, the New Warriors. He's a little dejected. He kind of felt like it was a demotion, but then he found his place amongst and found friends amongst that team. Now, the thing that I always liked about Rage, which is funny because, like, his powers are very cookie-cutter, basic, superhuman, enhanced human powers. You know, not strong. He's super strong, but not too strong. He's invulnerable, but not too invulnerable. But, he's always been involved with, like, a lot of Marvel's major storylines. Like, as a member of New Warriors, he was also involved with that battle between the New Warriors and Nitro, which caused a death of thousands upon thousands of people and pretty much, laid waste the entire town. That being involved with the casualties that started the government to get them involved with superheroes, having them to be registered as government officials so they can be held responsible for what's going on as opposed to being vigilantes. Basically, he was involved or the catalyst of involving the Civil War in Marvel history. Then he, even though he's part of the Initiative, he was still like against the authority even while he was in the Initiative, to the point where he actually ended up quitting the Initiative or didn't want to be Avengers anymore, which made him be a fugitive. So he's always been a middle figure to authority, whether it's due to him being so young and brash, like he's literally a kid, or the fact that his name is Rage, so therefore his powers being an angry black man. He's always been like going his own path and basically bucking the system. So we salute you, Rage.
Oh man, for all that, being a 14-year-old person that has turned into an adult, his show doesn't have any fucking facial hair.
Insert fart noise.
His bone
he needs to get himself some beard struggle. Oh man. So as of lately, I don't know if you guys have noticed, a lot of the guys, well, the other 2 guys who were sans beards at the beginning of this year, they've started to grow them because of their usage of the beard struggle.
What are you talking about? I started growing them because I eat a lot of vagina.
Well, that's too. That's fair too. I appreciate you stepping on my promo yet again. That was amazing. You are a habitual fucking line stepper. Anyway, thebeardstruggle.com is where you can go to get your facial follicle needs. That facial hair to grow in. Using the promo code BLURDS1, you can get 15% off your purchase. Personally using Freya's Bliss in mine. I think that's what everybody's using except for the habitual line stepper.
And me, I'm not using it.
No, I'm not. I ain't using no Freya. I'm not using. I don't need to use Freya's Bliss because I give Freya's Bliss. I'm using Odin's Virtue.
God. Oh my God. Okay.
Because you're looking at a one eye.
Bang.
Thebeardstruggle.com.
That's my guy right there. It's my guy right there.
Thebeardstruggle.com. Get your face the way it needs to be.
Well, Cam, being in your polyamorous relationship, you probably see lots of vaginas on a daily basis. So you're getting all kind of nourishment for your beard. So
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and pause you right there because my girlfriend watches the show.
Wait, I thought it was okay. My bad. I thought
he still gotta let her know if he got someone on the side.
Which I don't.
That's how they work. I don't know.
Black men don't cheat.
Well, if you're in a polyamorous relationship, it's not cheating.
There. Okay, so
there are still rules and regulations in place.
There are dynamics, rules.
Questions.
All I'm saying is, like, let's go move on to the next subject.
I didn't know. I legit didn't know. I thought everything was fair game. My bad. Sorry.
That's a whole separate subject for, like, maybe, I don't know, a spin-off podcast, Blurs and Whiskey After Dark. Maybe we can discuss that on
By
that
the way,
later on.
we need to discuss that one day. When are we gonna have an After Dark episode?
We're going to talk about that later, not live on the show.
We'll
talk about it later after this.
That was a plug. That also, what do you mean by we? Second of all, the one thing that I neglected, I didn't realize this until after I had done the post editing of the character Rage, is the social impact of a character whose power is pretty much being an angry black man. He's 13 or 14 years old, and comics don't age at all. So even though he was 13 in the 90s, he's still probably like maybe 16, 17 now in today's comics age, because that's how comics age. But in all actuality,
1 year.
Right. Peter Parker's still a struggling college student. No, but but in all actuality, like the way that he's depicted or viewed, Rage is pretty much a like, I don't know.
He's a comic book version of me as a teenager, right? Because he's 14 years old with the body of a grown man. The police just looking at him like, "Look, I'm gonna pop that big nigga, put him right down." That's essentially what Rage is.
OCG's coming in. OCG, listen up. OCG's coming in.
He's the comic book version of a lot of us at 14 years old, 13, 14 years old.
Because we all some big niggas.
Another thing they forgot. Wait. You know, another thing that they forgot is that they bred us like thoroughbred. So big surprise.
Yeah. So here's the thing that I wanted to point out originally. Like I said, it just dawned on me as I'm in the post editing. Every single under 18 black male that's been in the media that got shot, from Trayvon Martin to Tamir Rice Tamir Rice was 12. He was 12 with a toy gun, being a kid, doing what kids do. In the media, he's depicted as young man, young male, or saying, and like Trayvon Martin was like what, 16, 17. Again,
he was 17.
Young man, young male. Like every time they always depict a underage black kid who gets shot, they always want to undermine the fact that there's a child. They want to bring up the fact that he's he's an adult. So yes, truly, it's too many shots on the show to be honest. But like, if a non-melanated person who's in the headlines, they're a young man, they're a troubled teen. Like Brock Turner was like 21, 22 maybe.
A grown ass man.
He's a man who makes all the, legally he can drink, he's an adult, he can vote, he can drive, but he's a young man, a troubled teen, young man who made a mistake. The kid who shot up the church.
I got
Dylan Roof.
Dylan Roof was a young man from a very troubled family. He's from a.
I'm raging right now, but just let me go ahead.
Let him have his trigger. Let him have his tick, his nervous tick.
He was a troubled young man from a very troubled family, and they treated your man. I'll never get over this for as long as I live. They took your man to Burger King after he just murdered 9 people in cold blood.
But he was a troubled youth.
No, he was doing what he was supposed to do in their eyes.
So you spoke about Tamir Rice, right? Does anybody know the exact time that it took from that cop to stop his car and get out and shoot?
Less than a second.
It was 2.3 seconds. 2.3 seconds, that cop decided in his head, this is a threat and I got to put him down. But Dylan Roof was taken peacefully and treated to a fucking Whopper. They probably put cheese on the bitch after he just murdered 9 people.
You want avocado and bacon on it too? Sure. Like, give him the works.
And it wasn't a scratch on him. Not one.
A scratch on him. And he had an ugly ass haircut too, so he deserved to like hit his head on the roof as they put him in the car.
Hey, listen. He had that KKK. He had that KKK bowl cut, and they treated him with more respect than a 12-year-old little boy playing in the park by himself.
I'll even take it a step further. The only person that I ever seen that got treated in the actual crime with display of color was the guy who shot up people at the Dark Knight movie theater thing. Even though he lived, He still lived, but they never gave him like the young man headlines or anything like that. They just automatically just labeled him as crazy. But everybody else,
hey, bro,
Dylan Roof,
he killed white people too. That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
The only black person I ever seen get treated with respect taken by fucking police is fucking OJ. And OJ said he wasn't black a long time ago.
Yep.
Actually, the only person I've ever seen that had respect from the police was probably the DC sniper. Until they found out he was black, but then he was just
But that's because everybody thought he was white. Even black people thought he was white. We just knew the nigga that was
we
out
were sitting around the TV. He's like, please don't be black. Please don't be black.
We knew he was white.
Bro,
and so when we found out he was black, we was like, did y'all get the right people?
Yeah,
Because
he went from like a mastermind to like a nigga in a Winnebago. Like it was just like,
bro,
like, y'all sure? Y'all sure?
We was at practice at Howard University after they called him, and the niggas was like, nah, that ain't real. That ain't catch the right. They didn't catch the right person. We can't even practice outside for real.
Hey, did y'all have
walk to class in a zigzag?
Man, my daddy wouldn't even let me put gas in my car.
Ruined my high school football career.
He fucked up our whole senior year.
Our whole senior year was just dead. Like it was no prom, it was no homecoming, it was no.
We couldn't go on field trips.
Nothing.
Listen, everybody in here is from this area. You know how crowded Georgia Avenue is. When I tell you every student at Howard University avoided Georgia Avenue like the plague, like niggas was cutting through campus. Look, you'll go and you be like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut through these buildings.
All right, well, speaking of schools.
One thing before we move on. One quick thing before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know how y'all were saying that you have the young boys who were not treated, as if they were young men or whatever when they were arrested. Mm-hmm. But I want to send a shout out to all of the police officers who arrested Tory Lanez with the respect that a little man deserves.
Damn. Okay.
They didn't even have to put his head under the roof. They just said, like, I just talk. They give him the Mario jump.
I just wanted to point that out. I appreciate you protecting this young man in the midst of his crime.
Look, I'm just thinking of how that mugshot was looking. It's just had like 4 foot left.
Speaking of children and reopening schools.
There we go.
Let's move on to the next topic. We've got one more for you guys. Apparently, along the country, a lot of schools are reopening. Now, we have 2 educators here. Well, technically 3. Yeah. So we have a multitude of educators here. How do you guys feel about your respective areas going back to school and being forced to go back to school because we got to get the economy going?
I will start. So let's start with this little subject, right? So if most of you don't know, our government is basically filled with supervillains, be they on the right or be they on the left. They're all just fucking supervillains, right? All they care about is money and power. That is it. And without money, they have no power. Without power, they have no money, right? So right now during this pandemic, our economy has taken a little bit of a dip. Why? Because people aren't working because they have to protect their families, right? So, and our government, they can't attack us any more than they've attacked us all, right? So what's the next vulnerability? Oh, I'm going after your kids. Because I know that if I get after your kids, you're gonna act and you're gonna react and you're gonna go back and do whatever I need you to do, right? So they're gonna reopen these schools. And Dictator 45 has gone on record and said, hey, if you guys don't reopen the schools, guess what? I'm going to remove your funding from the schools. So now everybody is running around saying, oh, well, I'm just going to say it. Fuck it. This is how I feel about my people, and this is how I feel about these subjects. I'm going to lay my life on the line for it. I work for Montgomery County Public Schools. You motherfucking rat bastards in our town hall meeting this past Thursday. I know, Trey, but I can't hold back. I cannot.
I got you, cuzzo.
You rotten motherfuckers. You told us that we have to come back to regular school by Thanksgiving. You told us you're not going to hire any extra custodial staff. We're not going to get any more money for any cleaning products. You're going to give us 2 fucking cloth masks for the year and we can't make the students wear them? You sons of bitches. You basically told all of us teachers, fuck you. We don't give a fuck about how you feel. Go back in there and die. Because you don't want to lose a little bit of your money. Fuck y'all. This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. You don't worry about humanity. You don't worry about people's safety. All you care about is your bottom line. When did we lose our humanity? When? What is this? Why do we not care about human lives anymore?
We didn't lose our humanity.
We didn't lose it. Yeah.
We didn't lose our humanity.
Because
No. We never lost humanity because we never actually had it from the beginning, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were 3/5.
Especially in this country.
3/5 of the man believes the phrase. But not like, I mean, because I work for PG County Public Schools. The only good thing that I can honestly say as of right now is that they said that until February is when they're going to come back into the school, and they're going to just do theirs off of virtual learning. So kudos in that aspect, but even still, I don't feel comfortable with it. I don't feel comfortable at all with my child going out there.
Bro,
so, and I mean,
we and them kids should not be going back in buildings since there's
it
vaccine.
Shouldn't. I mean, because what do you have to fucking look? Motherfuckers get degrees from DeVry. Just going online. What do you need to go to
OCG's college?
No, I'm just saying. All joking aside.
Hold up, OCG's trying to chime in.
All right, so being a transplant from the DMV into this predominantly white community, we actually have the option. And it's a good thing. But with it being a predominantly white community, there's still a lot of extremely unfortunate non-colored people of color families out here. So it's like, it just feels like having come from PG into this environment, they're making every opportunity they can to try to make sure that these people are okay. And it kind of extends to, the less fortunate families, whether it be people of color or not. So everything is blanketed. But I just have to acknowledge the Venn diagram of, DMV versus, more predominant, white community out here.
Why don't you just go ahead and say what it is?
They're making sure, we're okay, depending on how much, your family makes.
Go ahead,
because if you're gonna afford,
I can speak on the same thing
out here. Yeah, if you can afford distance learning, you have the option of distance learning.
Even if you can't afford distance learning, where I live in the county that I live in, they're willing to pay for internet for these kids if they don't have internet at home. They're willing to pay for laptops if these children don't have laptops at home. It honestly, it depends on where you live, and it depends on what your county is willing to spend. And one thing that I can say, one of the main reasons why I moved, because I'm also a PG County transplant who has moved somewhere else. One of the main reasons why I moved away is because PG County don't give a fuck about their students. Period.
I'm a product.
So come on, man.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm a product too, and a lot of us are doing extremely well. So we are one of the richest, the DMV.
We are the
PG
richest
County,
black.
We are the richest black community in America, and you see
who's doing extremely well.
But we care more about the fact that our children
speaking
are wearing Helly Hansen's jackets and goose down coats and Jordans. We care more about what they look like when they step into society versus what type of education that they get. That's the problem.
That part.
So to finish my point, I'm saying is like, if we're the wealthiest black community in America, we should be at least doing as well as this broke community up here. Say they should have the option, because up here, Sharita, you spoke to what they're doing for you guys down there. They're not they're not doing all that up here. Like, if you don't have a computer, you don't have a computer. So we're going to bring you to the building at a staggered schedule type thing. But for those of you who can afford distance learning, continue to do your thing. And everybody knows there are some parents who teach their children at home. There are other parents who actually just expect the school system to just teach their children in general. And me being trained as an educator or having that background and talking to educators all the time, you know which parents, when all this went down, you know which kids are going to be okay and which kids weren't. Mm-hmm. And you know which ones to check on and which ones to worry about.
Agree.
Okay.
It's just
as a former educator, I agree. You see the signs.
So real quick, before we get into this, before y'all start, just checking the comments right now. I was not aware of this. Maybe you guys were, but there was a little girl apparently that was arrested for not doing homework during the pandemic. Yeah. Did y'all hear about that?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I didn't hear that.
Yes.
I didn't hear anything about that. Please put that up on Facebook so we can all see it.
Are you serious?
Are you fucking?
She's still in juvie because she didn't do her homework.
What the what? Okay. Please put those articles up on the Blurs and Whiskey fan page so we can all see them.
Yeah. Please post
and guys, everybody out there, keep posting stuff in there. We see it. I don't always get the response to it, but one of us 5 or 6 will be able to see things, and we can definitely have those conversations there. But yeah, put that up so we can see it.
Please.
But yeah, it's like me personally as a parent, it's just like Trey is basically going to school in Laurel, so I think that's Howard County. So they're providing a lot of different things. I live in PG County. I'm a co-parent with his mom, so she has the fortuitous situation to live out in that area where they do things a little bit better. But out here in PG, it would be a nightmare if Trey was out here in PG or Montgomery County where they're saying they got to go. I would refuse to send my child through that.
But this is the thing though. As parents, y'all can stand up and say, "We not going for your bullshit."
That's what I'm saying.
Just because they dictate to you does not mean that you have to go for it. If parents get more involved and go to these meetings and read these emails that your schools or your school districts are sent to you, please read them, pay attention, and act. Because quite frankly, as a teacher who has to deal with this, I wish I was over exaggerating, but they essentially in our town hall meeting with teachers and Board of Education, they basically told us, we're smarter than y'all. Fuck everything you're talking about.
So yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The reason why I know what I know about what's happening where I live is because I read the emails. If I did not read the emails that they sent me, and I didn't take the time to, answer the survey questions, and I didn't take the time to say, luckily, I have been blessed with the ability to afford my child with a device so that he can distance learn. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if I didn't read those emails and I didn't read those newsletters that they sent, I wouldn't know anything.
Yeah.
It's very important that you, like, just how you want to make sure that you read all of your work emails so that you can stay gainfully employed. You need to treat your children that same way.
Yeah. It's just frustrating when you think about this stuff. Like, I mean, you're willing to say, it's bad enough that you're saying fuck me, but you're saying fuck my kids as well. And I mean, like, because I got a 6-year-old. And it's bad enough that when I was living with my wife's grandmother, he seen CNN and the shit that he had to constantly see all the time. And I mean, he's got an idea of this shit. Like, what the fuck? And I mean, it's just like, come on, you gonna threaten my kids with this shit? Like, fuck you.
So quick question, general consensus. PG, Trey's PG, Rick is Howard also County. PG. Well, no, I'm talking about like where you currently.
Oh yeah, I live in PG.
So majority of us are raised PG. So we've already dealt with our own fair share of bullshit as adulthood and college and whatever. So as far as like me and Rick basically like, all right, so I have no horse in this race at all, except for the fact that I care about all of y'all kids.
You better.
Rick is in the same boat, whereas like while he doesn't actually have blood kids, he is pretty much essentially raising all these kids that he's working with right now. I don't know if Herbs has already started school yet, or I know Trace is in school and Rita's in school and OCGs are in school, but generally we all have different counties, but we all are pretty much roughly saying the same thing, that all in all, despite the very little efforts that everyone is taking, it's still bullshit.
Yeah. When you falling for the bullshit, man, it's plain and simple. It's just that simple.
Let's tell you. Here he comes again. He likes to talk today.
He got a lot to say today.
He got a lot to say today.
Talk today.
That's 1792.
Y'all gonna hear my voice today.
Can't wait to see you.
It's about that. It's like, no, okay, RNS.
For those who don't know, that means real nigga shit.
All right, RNS. No, seriously. All right, so I miss being in PG and being a transplant from PG. Sometimes I just got to kind of go off of my RNS to the point where I actually had to take gloves to work 2 weeks ago and said, if y'all want to see me outside, see me outside. This headgear is for you. These gloves are for me. All right.
Mind you, he did that with white boy. But anyway, go ahead.
No, real talk. Because you know what? Every workplace is a different type of situation, and sometimes you find yourself in kind of this locker room, frat boy, so forth or whatever. And somebody tries you. Sometimes you just got to take it outside, or at least just let people know that it's an option. This is what we have to do as a community. This is what we have to do as a community, because they already know. Okay, real talk. They're scared of us. They bred us to be the superior athletes. They bred us to be out there picking their cotton and baling their hay. All right? So they don't want to see us outside.
They don't.
So as a community, especially a community with money, go to your town meetings. Vote. Make our voices heard. They're afraid of us for different reasons now, which is why they're trying to minimalize us and just kind of denounce our worth. They're just trying to break us down again, all over.
Our worth, our intelligence, everything.
So basically, in a nutshell, you want us to fight them on the same level or the same playing field that they're on, the political level, you want us to out Karen the Karens. You want us to go through the emails. You want to go to they got their superiors. We'll go above their superiors.
Do not walk into a basketball court with a football.
Hey, Trey, you just made a face. It's a whole bunch of Twitch emotes.
You knew I would see, yeah, because I'm like, what is that? A Karen head? What the hell?
So one thing that I will say is, I grew up my entire life in Prince George's County. I actually love Prince George's County.
We all do. I love it.
I hate the school system, but I love Prince George's County as a whole, with the exception of the schools district. However,
and the police, because the PG County police.
Well, actually, because when I be getting 80 on when I be doing 80,
see, you asking for shit when you're doing 80 on 495.
They be passing me, so I don't really hate you.
Well, as someone who fits every description, growing up, yes, I hate PG County police officers. Their motto.
What I'm saying is that I'm not shitting on Prince George's County. I am, however, shitting on the school district. That part I am, which was the reason why I moved from Prince George's County. If their school district matched the taxes that people pay on those homes, if the income taxes that people are taxed on their checks, if all of that went with that, I would have stayed in Prince George's County. But because it does not, I had to do what I had to do for the sake of my child who has special needs.
Yes. All right. But I agree with you. Like PG County it's a great place, but if I was ever to have more children that were going through the school process, I would want to have them out of this county, to be honest. But we got to get to our last topic of the day. We haven't talked about it, but we've got our wrestler of the week. Those wrestlers. Yes. We had a little bit of a debate about this one because
we got to dish it off the Rick on this one, man.
We didn't talk about that, Herb. We didn't talk about that, Herb.
Herb, I like to intro into the topics. I don't know if you picked up on it yet, but I do a little spiel. And then I go into, hey, you pass it off to this person. But since you want to do that, you do the spiel and you pass it off.
All right, this is why you got fired when Trey wasn't.
I don't give a shit. I really don't.
No, go ahead.
I'm in that type of way today.
You know what? Sit back and look pretty.
About some shit that makes us.
Go ahead, Herb.
We're going to talk about the wrestler of the week.
Herb.
Wrestler of the week. We going into some real gangster shit this week. We going in with my man. Damn, Rick.
So this is just a little heads up, homie. Just a little heads up, homie. You don't have to say the name of the topic. You just have to lead the person into the topic, and then that person can expound upon all y'all. Okay, I'm being serious. Then that person can expound upon the topic.
Our wrestlers of the week are the Gangsters. The Gangsters were a Smoky Mountain Wrestling tag team.
This shit is amazing.
They were composed of Mustafa Ali and D'Lo Brown.
No, it's just Mustafa.
Mustafa Saeed.
Come on, Herb.
Mustafa Saeed, nigga. For real. Mustafa Saeed, D'Lo Brown, and my all-time favorite, New Jack. The reason why we picked the Gangsters as our wrestlers of the week is because, as y'all could tell, this whole episode was a little bit heavy. And honestly, give a fuck about your white feelings at this point. And just like the Gangsters, that's why
white tears.
Exactly. The Gangsters ain't give a fuck. New Jack cut one of the most infamous promos in wrestling history where he shouted out my man O.J. Simpson and said there's two less of them in the world. That's some shit we on today. So, right. Exactly. New Jack basically would read the headlines and take everything that white people would cringe about and he would put shit in his promos. That's why he's a genius. That's why he needs to go into the Wrestling Hall of Fame of all time.
But
Vince ain't gonna let him in there.
I'm gonna go ahead and say another step a step further because y'all forget, y'all remember, but y'all also kind of like negate the fact that Smoky Mountain Wrestling was like some hillbilly hick, like deep south crap.
It was in the hills of Tennessee.
And you get this unapologetic black ass dude, and the whole time all he does is cut promos, and his only reason why he's a villain is because he's black. Like
they had a baby on a noose. They had a white baby doll on a noose that he held up, and Mustafa proceeded to beat the white baby doll.
So for those who never watched Dark Side of Wrestling, when they did the mass transit incident, they also discussed New Jack, and that was also one of the things they promised on. They went on it. Now, it also
he
in
didn't just scalp him.
In ECW, which is where he got really famous for, 80% of the time while he's in his match as the Gangsters, they had playing in the PA system that Ice Cube and Dr. Dre song, Kill Us. And Natural Born Killers. It had that shit on loop. The whole course is on loop. While they're in the middle of a wrestling match. So just imagine, like, every once in a while you start just bopping. Like, yeah, because, Dr. Dre on the beat. So the 808s be pumping and even getting people with steel chairs.
Listen, that's why anytime if you ever ask me who my favorite wrestler is, I'm always going to say New Jack, and I'm never not going to say anything else.
Listen, I forgot about the staple gun.
No, he tased Vic Grimes, and Vic said, Jack, I can't feel my legs. He said, don't worry about it, bitch. You ain't going to need him. And he threw him a 50-foot scaffolding.
He yeeted before yeet was invented.
The originator of pain.
The OG yeet.
and then Mustafa was smoking Pencil shavings?
He was snorting them.
Snorting.
No, he would take pencil shavings and roll it and put it in the in like the blunt shavings and then roll that up too.
And that led
a whole platoon of police.
I was about to say, and that led to the infamous incident where he fought off a whole pack of police, and New Jack came out to try and calm him down, and he looked New Jack in the eyes and said, "They're trying to fuck me, Jack. They all want to fuck me."
Bruh. All right. So yeah, that is easily that's probably the most lightheartedest thing we've heard on the show, even though he scalped a man and pulled it back. But anyway, we've got to wrap things up, and I'm going to steal this from Herb, so Herb don't repeat what I said after I say it. We're closing things out. Thank you guys for joining us here on Blurs and Whiskey. Please check us out on blursandwhiskey.com. You can see our sponsors for FNX Fit, FNX, Blurs13 for their promo code to get 15% off of their products. And then also Blurs, the Beard Struggle.
Come on,
The Beard Struggle, which is Blurs1. I'm not Herb, trust me, I look better. Anyway, the Beard Struggle, and their promo code is Blurs1. You can see all of our promos on blursandwhiskey.com. Check out our new website. Also, if you guys, definitely follow the links. They're all on the new website. Everything is broken out there. It's made by OCG. He did an amazing job on it. So also, everybody out there, if you like our show, if you love our show, you want to share our content, share us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But also tell everybody that we've made the switch to Twitch so they can come take this shot too. All right? We love you guys.
Oh, subscribe.
Yeah, like,
share,
and subscribe.
Help us grow so we can do more.
Exactly. So how do you guys feel about that 1792 real quick before we go?
I'll say right now.
Let's do a bottle check. Did you? This is how far I got in my bottle.
Good job.
I got it in my thermos.
Good job.
I got my ice. So
I don't know if y'all noticed. I've been drinking a lot more than 1792.
I know you have.
Yeah.
We are well aware.
You've been mixing. Yeah.
Up to it. Down to it.
Up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it. Drink motherfucker drink.
And we out this bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that technicolor rainbow in between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And thank you for watching Blurs and Whiskey.
Be sure to like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
And check us out on blursandwhiskey.com.
Be sure to get that merch.
And come take this shot.